you're having a wonderful day, morning, noon, night, whenever you're watching this. I'm just lighting some incense to get us started here. Hi, hello. Hello, welcome, denizens of the night. So, let's see. I have some synchronicities, channeled songs, channeled messages here. So I'm just going to get right into it and see where we go from here. First and foremost, the channeled song for today is All the Things She Said by Tattoo. Blast from the past. Synchronicities wise, the numbers we have are 234, 333, 777, 1441, 123, 511, 1551, 711, 9898, 1818, 211, 212, and 0110. Other synchronicities include a ton of distractions for today, irritability, headaches. You could have allergies or are feeling sick lately. Zombies was also relevant, I don't know why, and Pixar was also relevant. So those are the synchronicities and channeled song for today. Let's get into, hello everybody, let's get into the dice to see what house and sign this collective message will be in. Let's see. First and foremost, we have the 12th house for subconscious and secrets. Interesting. Okay, and what about the sign? What sign is that in? 5 for Leo. Interesting placement there. Leo in the house of subconscious and secrets. Fascinating. Hello everybody, hi. I'm gonna get into runes for some more detail because we're nosy here. We want to know what that's about. So subconscious and secrets around self-confidence. Interesting. Oh, I just saw Leo, that's funny. Okay, so first and foremost we have stillness. So some stillness around Canas, our fire and creativity here. And then we also have Ingvas for potential. Potential stillness in creativity. Creative blocks, perhaps? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Let's see. Let's get into charms as well for more details before I dive into tarot and all of those things. Hi, everybody. Tell me more about those, Spirit. Potential stillness and creativity around our self-conscious in this like subconscious and secrets. Interesting. First and foremost, we have the intuition charm here, so an intuitive nudge. The rose quartz charm, goodness, that went flying. The rose quartz charm right here, which talks about self-love, healing self-love. The spiral charm for some negative spiral thinking, so we could have some negativity happening here. The diamond in the rough charm as well, so we've been through it, but we're still a diamond. We may not be a polished diamond, but that does not make us less valuable. And we also have transformation here with the little butterfly, so transformation around this. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Okay, so yeah, we're working on our self-concept is what I'm seeing here. Interesting. Leo and subconscious and secrets. I never see that placement. Okay, cool. So, working on wounds around being seen. May not like having the spotlight on us. Alright, I figure most of the people here are probably new viewers. The way that I operate as a tarot reader is I don't really like knowing your business. You don't have to give me anything, you don't gotta pay me anything, you don't even have to drop a follow or a like. Truth be told. I'm pulling out my yes-no cards as I do this collective reading. All I ask of you is to think your question. Keep it in your head. You don't need to type it out. I don't want to know your business. And as I pull for the collective, your answer will be right here, okay? You don't need to type anything. You don't have to drop a like. You don't have to drop a follow. You don't got to do any of that, all right? I don't like having people's personal business in the chat. That's for you, okay? That's not for me to know. So, as I pull for the collective, you focus on your yes, no question if you're not worried about being in the collective, and see what comes out. But if anything resonates, feel free to stay. You never know. You know? So, Spirit, tell me what's going on with the collective. This healing journey, this working on our self-confidence, our self-concept. What's going on with the collective today? What's this about? So we have a horizontal card. That's interesting for yes, no questions. So first and foremost, what I've been working for is already done. So yes, we're working on a cycle currently. Whenever I see horizontal cards like this, that tells me our current energy is back and forth. So it's either completing the cycle or redoing the whole loop. Again, that spiral thing. So first we have success, achievement, accomplishment, reaching your goal. And then in the reverse, that's lack of success, stagnation, lack of, disappointment, burden, and all that stuff, right? You can see it right here. In the upright, right? If you had a yes, no question, your answer is yes. In the upright, this is what we're trying to go for, right? We're trying to finish that cycle. We're trying to complete a cycle that we've been struggling with for a while now. In the reverse, right? We go back and forth. So we're currently there. This is a big life-changing moment, so we're trying to call that in. Tell me more on what's going on with the collective at this time, Spirit. Working on a cycle, trying to break the never-ending merry-go-round, so to speak. Yes, teamwork. The Three of Pentacles. If you had a yes, no question, your answer is yes. Lots of yeses today. Apprenticeship, learning, studying, growing, hard work. So yeah, we're putting in that hard work, we're learning about it. There's that Capricorn, so like discipline. Putting in the work. Trying to learn. So you could also be looking into things like affirmations, subliminals, reading books around expanding your self-concept, bringing in more confidence into your life. So it's kind of like actually going and learning how to do it. Tell me more. Another yes. You had a question, your answer is yes. Lots of yeses today. This is something that you are intuitively, yes, I've pulled 3 of them. So the answer is yes to somebody. My inner knowledge is my best guide in all. So yes, this is something that you're being intuitively guided to do. You can see right here, mystery, intuition, inner knowing. So it's like we've been feeling called to work on this part of ourselves. So that's beautiful. This is a big step. Okay. Yeah, we may not know exactly how to do it, but we're just kind of feeling it out and putting in that work. That's beautiful. It's wonderful. That's the sideways. Okay. Another card in horizontal. Again, when stuff is horizontal, that means we're going back and forth. This is a collective reading, okay? As I said before, and you're probably one of the new ones that just popped in, I don't require anything from you. When I have my yes, no cards out, you do not have to put your question in the chat. You don't have to give me anything. You don't have to follow. You don't gotta like. You don't gotta do anything except for think your question. And as I pull for the whole collective, whatever comes out is your answer. I've pulled 3 yeses in a row. So anybody who's been thinking a question, that was your answer. Okay? That's how I work. I don't like hearing your personal business in the chat. It's yours. It doesn't belong to the internet. You know what I mean? So that's where we're currently at. We're working on this cycle of trying to bring in that inner self concept. This little journey right here. Ending that cycle. Being called intuitively to it, learning how to grow your self-concept, but we're feeling a little bit antsy here, a little restless, because in the upright, the 4 swords represents like fear, anxiety, stress, feeling overwhelmed. It's like a pause, just like with the rune I got for pause, stillness, right? That type of thing versus yeah, finding mental strength, awakening, coming out of isolation. So we're going back and forth here of taking a pause and then coming back out, feeling a little restless, wanting things to kind of hurry up and stuff like that. So we get a little antsy while trying to build our confidence. Tell me more. Interesting. Oh, let me move this before that makes a giant mess. There we go. Tell me more, Spirit, on what's going on with the collective at this time regarding... They're trying to heal this subconscious wound about being received, being in the spotlight, and their own inner self-confidence. Hello! So whoever, okay, if you had a yes/no question, your answer is no, all right? Your answer is no. We have the Queen of Swords here. Gossip, malicious lies, bias, loss, misery, one who puts people down and can't be trusted. We're being a little hypercritical of ourselves, right? The Queen of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Swords, oh my goodness, hello. The Queen of Swords, hi R. The Queen of Swords is often a fair, honest person who knows how to tell people, like, they know how to be honest. They know how to tell people things they need to hear without, you know, eviscerating their will to live. On the flip side, it's someone who doesn't care if they eviscerate your will to live. They're very hypercritical. They use their words to cut, to hurt. They're the person who would cut you off because you looked at them wrong on a Tuesday. That's kind of the vibe here. So it's like we're trying to build this self-confidence, this feeling of being seen, of being recognized, of having the spotlight on us, but we're extremely critical of ourselves. And if not us, there's a mom here or some feminine energy that's older than us who is like this. That may be why we have this issue. If that's the case, I do apologize, because that's rough. So if it's not you, it's somebody else. I man, every time I go live, R pops up. Oh, I will say a big shout out to R. R got me something for my wish list. These little oracle cards here. They're little blank ones, so I'm gonna spend time meditating and putting some things on the back. Putting some things on the back for future oracle advice cards. I feel like that'll be really fun to do. So tell me more. So thank you, R. Thank you for that. I got them today and I'm very excited about it. Tell me more about what's going on with the collective at this time. So I see we're trying to heal it. We have negative thinking spiral loops happening. I saw that. Tell me more. I appreciate it. I really do. And thank you guys for the likes and the follows. I do see y'all. I'm trying to focus. Interesting that your name is Confidence. This is all about confidence. So as I said before, you guys don't have to give me anything. You don't have to put your business in the chat as I'm polling for the collective on what's going on. Think your question, and as I poll, that will be your answer, okay? So we have 2 yeses here in the horizontal, as you can see right here. So any question you just asked, that is your answer. I do see this horizontally though, which again, as things are horizontal, that means we go back and forth, right? Current energies back and forth. So because of this hypercritical nature, whether through ourselves or through older feminine energies, it can put us into being hesitant, not going after the things that we want, not having that motivation towards having the motivation and going after new ideas, new motivations. And this also stems around kindness, intuition, good ideas. Yeah, learning about emotional issues. Yeah, and then like no plans for tomorrow. So following that intuition. So it's like back and forth. Some days we feel very inspired to follow our intuition and go after things and be creative, and then other days we have none of that. No. Yeah, and it stems specifically from whoever this Queen of Swords unhealed Aquarius is. Doesn't have to be Aquarius specifically, but that is on the card, as you can see right here, the Aquarius. Whoever this is. And again, if it's not specifically a mother figure or older feminine energy, it could just be yourself being hypercritical. Thank you for the follows. Yeah. So again, the inspiration. Feeling inspiration. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is yes, okay? That's where you see your little answers here. Good news, courage, optimism. So like, yeah, it's like we go back and forth where we'll see stuff will be inspired. And depending on if it's ourselves being hypercritical or somebody else, it can cause us to swap back and forth wildly. Thank you, so do I. I've been one my whole life. Mars. Choose the one that doesn't make you chase them. Where it's very obvious that they like you. Okay? That's just big sister advice. If you feel like you have to beg for someone's love and attention, that's not the one, okay? It should not be you chasing. No. And that goes, it doesn't matter what gender you are either, okay? If you have to beg for someone's love, that's not the one you want. Okay? I'll give you that for free. Yeah, this is around the Hierophant. So, coming up with your traditions. I choose which traditions I embrace and how I do it. Beliefs. Social groups, education, knowledge, conservatism, guidance. So again, it's like forging your own path. You feel inspired and you want to bring things into your life. Yeah, it's like, how do I cultivate my self-confidence? What am I doing in order to breathe life into myself? Changing things up. What routines do I have that help me feel like my best self? I do see your question, Cami. I'm not doing personal questions at this time. This is one big collective. If you do want a personal reading, no, I do offer those at the link in my bio. So you can check that out if you want to. Let's see. Tell me more about the collective at this time regarding their journey around their subconscious inner beliefs about themselves. This little self-love journey that they're on at the moment. I saw a potential stillness around their motivation, so I want to know more about that too. Oh, I see. Hidden manipulation in the background. Interesting. Hi, hello. Tell me more. I see a lot of undercurrents, and I would rather that actually come out. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, let me cover these guys up. I see the Lover's card here, and it was sideways. So again, another transitional period of back and forth. And this is all about balancing our inner masculine and feminine energies, right? So our ambition, our receptivity, our creativity, like go-getter energy versus, it's like 1 minute we're super ambitious, we have all these beautiful ideas, we go forth, and then we have to also be comfortable in the receiving part. Hi, Badaka, I haven't seen you in a minute. My personal value system leads me to love. Yeah, so it's, again, this is not a romantic reading. This is specifically around how we see ourselves. So it's more about choices. Let's So yeah, this is like reshaping our own value system and how we show up for ourselves. Interesting. I do. At the link in my bio, that's where I do personal readings. This is not where I do personal readings. Your business should remain yours. That's my firm belief. I'm not going to put your stuff all over the internet. That's just not for me. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Let's see. Tell me more. Yeah, the Two of Cups and Justice card. So this centers around reciprocity, how we give back to ourselves, how we find people who pour back into our cup, right? So while we go out and we give, we also receive, as well as with ourselves, right? So instead, like I said, having that ambitious go-getter energy and then being comfortable receiving the thing you're working for. So receiving your recognition at the same time. So when that justice comes in, right? If you had that yes, no question, remember, I told you, keep an eye out for this stuff. 2 yeses. So, yeah, union, partnership, connection, harmony. So yeah, trying to call forth this balance between our feminine and masculine parts of ourselves. Bringing that justice in and making sure that they're in harmony and in balance, so that when we do go out and we try to attract things in our lives, we're not like our go-getter energy and our reception energy are on the same page, you know, because there's nothing worse than being like, okay, I deserve nice things, I deserve to be able to pay my bills, but then when a promotion comes around, we go, oh no, I don't really deserve a promotion, and then we're kind of kneecapping our own goal, you know? They have to be on the same page. If you don't feel comfortable receiving, you won't receive the thing you asked for. Hello. Tell me more about what's going on with the collective. Yeah, around this leadership, we feel like we can't have the spotlight. That's where we're balancing. Like I said, we're trying to balance those energies in our life. Right? Because the upright King of Wands is being in charge. There's someone who is a very motivating, inspiring leader. Not necessarily like you have to be, you know, a manager position, but it's like people around you are inspired by what you do and how you move, versus feeling like you have to prove yourself all the time. So I have to do XYZ in order to earn that recognition. No, you don't. That's not how that works. You know? Getting into that, trying to figure that out. Yes. Tell me more, Spirit. Yep, this is a journey of healingness. I have to cover it. The universe shows me that I can have faith in my dreams. So the Star card is all about healing, right? If you had a yes/no question, that's your answer. Yes, even if you just asked it right now in the chat. I told you guys, you don't have to put it in the chat. Yes, especially if you're an Aquarius too. Your answer is yes. The Star card's all about healing. So it's also about being in the spotlight. Being a star, having people see your face. Spirituality, healing, that type of thing. So that's something we're currently working on, is healing this little wound within ourselves of, again, being in the spotlight, feeling like we deserve it. Yeah, judgment call. Another yes for whoever's asking. The daily choices I make now align me with my life's purpose. So yeah, this is the moment in time. We have that judgment call. We're doing our little judgments here. Yes, this little awakening. So we're making big changes on how we show up and breathe life into ourselves, on how we treat ourselves, how we talk to ourselves. That's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Well, I love that. You're doing a whole lot of hard work here two of the numbers that I got were 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4. So making progress, taking the steps that we need in order to cultivate this stuff. Yeah, and I got a little bit of distractions, irritability, headaches, feeling sick, that type of thing, right? That means that you are making those changes and you are changing your vibration in that way, so you are making progress. Oh, if you tuned into my reading, yes. That's kind of where we're at. We literally have, you know, looking through our subconscious and how we view ourselves and receiving recognition. All good things here. I'm seeing somebody who's working very hard on learning how to love themselves, on how to accept that you don't have to earn your flowers. You just have to continue to show up and love on yourself, right? You don't have to, you know, get 95 points to be able to be recognized for having some sort of value to the world, you know? So if you're worried about if you'll be proud of who you become, if you're currently working on loving yourself, the answer is yes. Okay. Tell me more, Spirit. We'll do 3 more. And then I will put away the yes/no cards. So tell me more what's going on with the collective at this time. Because I'm just seeing good things here. I'm seeing healing. I'm seeing justice. I'm seeing working on balancing our masculine and feminine energies. Lots of huge changes. Following our intuition. That's a big one. Breaking the cycle of negative self-talk, negative self-think. Thank you for the repost, friend. Y'all are so great. I love my night people. Let's see. Being a little quiet about this journey. You may not be telling people that you're doing this. Yep, thank you, Spirit. The 10 of Cups. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is yes, especially if it relates to love. That's a big yes. Okay? Yeah, working towards our happiness. Long-term relationships, stability, security, harmony, abundance, happily ever after, right? That's literally, especially around that root chakra, right? So again, big, like we're working towards that happiness, building that stability, right? And again, I told you, if you're looking for yes, no's, this is your answer. That's it right there. Yes. This is a general reading. It is a big, it's a big collective reading. There we go. I don't do personals on lives. Your business should remain yours. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Okay? My compromise for you guys is to have the little yes, no's, and you just think your question. You don't got to give me anything. And as I pull for the whole collective, that's the answer. You're welcome. That's just me. No shade to anybody who does them on here. That's just my personal thing. Let's see. 2 more and then I shall move on to the next part. Goodness gracious, that's so many. Yeah, like I said, we have some distractions happening here. But that's fine. That's part of the process. Those help us kind of, like I said yesterday in yesterday's reading, when we get distractions and little hiccups, that's not like you're going the wrong direction. It's more of your feelings when those things come up are the wounds coming up for you to heal them. So it's part of the process. So it's like, every time I'm trying to love on myself, there's people telling me all these things. Well, that's a good thing, because that means that now you're getting the opportunity when they come in with their nonsense to choose different this time. So it's like little tests along the way. You're like, oh, you want to heal that part of yourself? Okay. We'll give you the opportunity to do so. Let's see. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, if you had a yes/no question, your answer is no, alright? Especially if it relates to long-term relationships, foundations, stability, and marriages, okay? But yes, we're working on, so yeah, we want to build We could have a shaky home life at this time, and we're trying to leave that behind, right? A pause, because we're trying to build better for ourselves. Two more. What else is going on with the collective at this time? Oh, there's that sideways. Yeah, we're working on bringing that in. So we're currently in the middle period of the Wheel of Fortune. Back and forth, right? Some days we feel really good about our progress. Some days we feel like we're making no progress. So back and forth, back and forth. That's okay. I ride the waves of life. So again, yeah, good luck, destiny, chance, yeah, karma, decisive moments. So moments that come up to heal that versus external forces, lack of control, disruption. Like I said, we have those distractions come in order to see how we choose different this time, okay? How do we choose different? Last one. Thank you, Spirit. King of Cups. Aw. So if you had a yes, no question, your answer is yes. The last one was a maybe, right? I know not everybody likes that, but we do have a yes here, especially in matters related to the heart, because the cups is all about emotions, okay? So yeah, we're currently working on the emotional intelligence. Yes, in touch with your emotional side. So we're working on this, not drowning in our emotions, right? Allowing ourselves to have feelings without drowning in them whenever bad things happen. So that's beautiful. I love to see it. I love to see this. You're making great progress because I haven't seen any negative cards here. Oh, little Pisces, hi. So love to see that. Let me move this here and light this incense here. It was like, I really love to see it. I love to see this cute, like, I'm trying to do better for myself, and I just really, really, really am trying hard, and I want to know if I'm doing a good job. The answer is yes. Yes, you are. Because I'm only seeing good things here. We're making huge changes. And it's okay if some days we go back a little bit, some days we go forward. That's okay. Thank you. I'm feeling this beautiful tarot deck, so we're going to get into it. I'm sure this will resonate for my Pisces friends because it's all sorts of like fae-like, dreamy kind of feeling here. Soft, pretty colors. Thank you for the follows and the likes. My goodness. So let's see. We have our what's going on. I want to get into why you need to hear this at this time. Yes. Why do you need to hear this at this time? Yes. Why do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Today's topic is around the house of subconscious and secrets in the sign of Leo. So, collective seems to be working on healing wounds around being seen and their self-confidence. That's what I'm noticing here. And a potential stillness around our motivation and fire. The Hanged Man. Because we're shifting our perspective right now. That's why you need to hear this. We're currently working on a perspective shift. Oh, that's crazy. Very interesting. We're working on a perspective shift. So yeah, we're feeling a little restless, a little antsy, working on this cycle, tapping into our motivation and our intuition at this time, balancing our inner masculine, feminine energies, learning how to recognize that you don't need to prove that you're worthy of recognition. You don't need to prove it. The king does not tell everybody he's the king. He's just the king. He has the crown on, you know? Same energy. And then the disruptions and delays along the journey are there as opportunities for you to respond differently. And that brings the healing you need to get your emotional intelligence and to actually give yourself your crown. or rather put it back on. But yeah. Hello, friend. Welcome. Why else do I need to hear this at this time? Thank you. I had one fall into my lap, so let's see. The 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, we have some moments where we feel like we're being breadcrumbed or like things aren't really working out. So yeah, we have this perspective of, you know, we're never gonna get it. Now what is this one? The 6 of Pentacles. Ooh, overgiving. We're overgiving. Why are we overgiving? Yeah, it's like everybody over here is having a good time, but all I ever get is these little breadcrumbs. No, I don't like that. Yeah, feeling like we have to, oh, I see. We're over humbling ourselves. It's good to be humble, but sometimes we're being too humble. Yeah, learning that, you know, it's like people who like feel the need to humble you even though they have no business doing so. So now you are a whole king, queen, ruler, like someone who is actually in that energy, but feeling like a peasant. Like you forgot that you had a crown on. Perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. Ace of Pentacles. You don't gotta be perfect because it's not real. The Hanged Man. So around new opportunities, we may reject new opportunities because we feel like we don't deserve it. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's like when you get the promotion, you want the money in your account, you want to bring this into your life, and then when the opportunity presents itself, you go, no, I don't deserve that. Right? I don't deserve that, you should give it to someone else. No. Now see, I don't say perfection's a myth in order to dismiss anyone. Perfection is a myth. It's not real, it does not exist. Right? Everybody is imperfect. That's how we are meant to be. There's nothing wrong with being imperfect. Perfection is something that people tell us to be so that we always feel like something's missing or broken. Yeah. You should always pick progress over perfection, because perfection means you can't learn, you can't grow, you can't do anything else. Progress means that you're evolving, you're changing. Why else do they need to hear this at this time? It's quiet, but it feels like I don't like that it's quiet. 10 of Cups. Yeah, this impacts our happiness. Because the 10 of Cups, we just had it up here. Where'd it go? We just had it. We're trying to call this in. But every time the opportunity comes up for us to chase it, we push it away. Because I don't deserve it. It's not for me. I need to prove that I'm worthy of it. Temperance. Yeah, balancing stuff out. It's like, why do you need to prove that you're worthy of it? Why? And like, if it's something of like, oh, there's a time limit on this thing that I want, right? I need to make sure that it's stable and worthy of me going after. Is worthy going after, even if it is like a timed thing, because you'll gain experience and knowledge from doing it. Just because it has a time limit doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Why else do I need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Now I understand that restless energy, because my cards are shuffling quite... It's like they're being so quiet. I'm like, the silence is loud. Yeah, we also are isolating a little bit. Yeah, so we may not tell people we're having an issue here or that we need support. We feel like we kind of have to do it all on our own. Isolating a little bit. Yeah. I have to prove myself. I have to do it all on my own. It all has to be on my shoulders. I can't tell anybody. I can't lean on anyone for support. Tell me more, Spirit. Thank you. Yeah. We have the inspiration. It's there. The Page of Wands is all about inspiration. We already saw it. Like good news, courage, competition, faithfulness, optimism, being courageous and energetic. Like Page of Wands is all about inspiration. But we can't get our priorities straight. We can't figure it out. It's like we keep going back and forth, juggling. I can't figure it out. I'm really inspired, but at the same time, yeah, I have this intuitive nudge to go there, but I can't. I get inspired, I want to make the change, but then when it's time to work on that self-confidence, it's like I can't figure it out. Our priorities are skewed a little bit. Yeah, because we feel like we have to do it all on our own. We feel like we have to push away new things because we have to earn it. Interesting. Welcome in, welcome in. Good evening. Tell me more, Spirit. But like I said, it's not a dig at anybody. This is just your inner subconscious, these little hiccups. Those opportunities, those little delays. They come in order for you to choose different. To heal that part. Because every time the cards get quiet, I have this inner feeling of like being impatient, of being irritated that it's quiet, and going, why is it quiet? So I feel anxious. I don't like waiting. Makes sense. I don't like to wait. The Emperor, yes! Hello! Hi, Amanda! Welcome back! The Emperor. Yeah, because this is all around my inner authority, my power, how I feel in control of my life. That's why we feel so antsy. Yeah, the Four of Swords. There's that delay, that pause again. Every time there's the pause, it makes us antsy. Because it's like, if I'm not doing anything, I feel like... It's like what my grandfather always called it. It's when you're like, I get the impression of someone who bounces their knee a lot, or they pick at their nails. My grandfather always called it busy hands. It's that anxious feeling of I have too much energy and I need it to go somewhere. So whenever I pause, I get really anxious. And I feel like time's running out. I feel like I need to make the right decision. Yeah. But then when new things come in, we're like, no, I don't really... Yeah, like my knees started to bounce. I feel so impatient. I need the answers. Page of Cups. Yeah, that was up here earlier, in the sideways. In the horizontal. Right? Being right here. Aw, thanks, Amanda. Yeah, so it's like following our intuition versus like, yeah, we're worried about bad news and not having a plan. Even though if you follow your intuition, there's not going to be a plan. Because like we have this beautiful energy here, being new at something, following a new creative venture, but it's scary. There's a pause and it's frustrating. It's like, what do I do? Where do I go? What's the right answer? Yeah. I know how this feels. I also have the busy hands. The busy hands, the shaky knees. I want things to, like, I want to see the results. I want to know the end result before I start. Tell me more. Let's do 3 more. 3 more, Spirit, on why they need to hear this at this time. Tap that. There we go. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate y'all. Why else do they need to hear this at this time? Yeah, every time the cards take a long time, I get so anxious, and I normally don't. So I know this is not, I'm tapped into somebody. 8 of Cups. Yeah, do I leave? Do I stay or do I go? What do I do? What do I do? Do I leave this? Yeah, do I leave this mindset that I've put so much time and effort into? Or do I leave? Do I go? Do I keep it or do I go? Yeah, I want to go towards my recognition, towards my flowers, right? I want to make sure that where I go leads me to that. No, you should never be scared. Well, no, that's not true. We're all human. You're allowed to be afraid. Do it while you're afraid. It's okay to do it while you're afraid. Being brave does not mean the absence of fear. It means doing it despite the fear. It's okay to be afraid. Why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Yeah, I feel like I just need to breathe, ground, get back into my body. Yeah, this feels like the oracle pull I did today. Being too up in our brain space, we need to get into our body and figure out, okay, this is something I can't control. What can I control? What can I control? What can bring me comfort right in this moment? The 3 of Cups in the reversed. Not being celebrated. We're worried about our recognition not being celebrated. Like not, ooh, yeah, because if we're too anxious, if we spend all this time freaking out about whether or not it'll work, we won't even celebrate when the recognition does come because we won't notice. Got it. Yeah. Last one, and then I'll move into the next card. Thank you, Spirit. Yep, the Tower. Ooh, in the horizontal. Not letting it fall. So every time we've been overly humble, every time we've kind of pushed away new opportunities to grow because we feel like we don't deserve it, how has that, like, where has that taken us? How has that served us? And there's the Moon card right after that. Like, maybe we need to be shining a light on this. Why are we so dedicated to this foundation that has not served us this whole time? Especially since after the Tower comes the Star, the healing, right? But we're afraid to let that foundation crumble, even though it's shaky foundation. Yeah, stagnant energy. It's being afraid to make that change because we're worried that making that change means that, yeah, if I start truly tapping into confidence for myself, will that mean that I stop being, like, will I stop being humble? Will I start getting too big of a head? Will I start? No, you'll still be you, friend. Let's see. Who else wants to talk? I'm feeling Mythos. Yeah, keeping ourselves tightly locked up in this little box. Every time I grab the Mythos deck, it reminds me of being in a little box. In a gold box, nonetheless, by the way. Mr., Mrs., I'm not actually royalty in my gold box. Oh boy. I don't deserve these things even though I'm in this golden gilded box. The little safe box. Yeah, but you know, it's kind of like a plant. Eventually you outgrow it and then it becomes the thing that chokes you. You know? When it starts showing that you're outgrowing it, it's actually safer to leave it. And like I said yesterday, our brain is hardwired to stay in the comfortable hurt because we know how to deal with the comfortable hurt even if we know it's hurting us. Right? But it's safer to leave the hurt. Yeah. We gotta get out of it. Get some air, breathe, stretch out. Gotta leave the nest. It's scary, but it's necessary. Change is never comfortable. If your change is comfortable, you're not changing. So, what, we have our what? We have our why. What do they need to do about it, Spirit? What do they even need to do about this? Welcome in, hi. The Two of Cups, yep. Balancing. So you're already doing that work, you're already trying to balance it, right? Balancing those aspects of yourself. All of this excessive energy is the masculine side. It's the I really want something to change. I want things like the ambition. But then when the thing comes in, we have a wound around receiving it. We need to figure out why we feel like we don't deserve those things. Why am I afraid of receiving what I asked for? Yeah, getting those two on the same page. So this would require healing that feminine wound, right? Because I said we're hypercritical, or we dealt with someone, a mother figure or an older feminine energy who was hypercritical. We need to heal that, address this. Yep, and I keep itching on the left side of my face, so it's definitely a feminine energy. Whether they identify as that or not is irrelevant. It would be someone in that energy specifically. There's that tower. Let it fall. Let it fall. Let it happen. I'm gonna tell you every time. Let the storm take over. That reminds me of the good dinosaur. The storm provides. Let the tower fall so you can build a new foundation that's stronger. Alright? Let it fall so the healing can happen. You'll be alright. The falling will suck. Of course it will, but you'll be fine. Because change should not be comfortable. If the change is comfortable, nothing's happening. Hello. Yep, there's the Hierophant as well. So, good morning. So, this specific Hierophant is different from this Hierophant from before, where we were what we were doing? Choosing our honor system, our values. This is Dionysus. He's the god of revelry, drunkenness, partying. He's a rebel. So this is about like your own traditions. He's literally the opposite of the traditional Hierophant. Challenging tradition, unconventional lifestyles, unconventional relationships, reversed roles, non-conformity. So it's not being so rigid, being rebellious. Let the tower fall. Let it happen. If the tower has not been working for you, the way you've been doing things regarding your self-confidence and how you accept things, the being over humble has not been serving you, so it's time to flip it over. And the Page of Wands. Be inspired. Be inspired. Continue to be inspired. Okay? Continue to be inspired. Because I see that you're inspired. I've seen the Page of Wands here 3 times now, so there is inspiration here. Stick to that. continue to be inspired. Okay? Continue to follow that inspiration. What else they need to do about it at this time? And I see 18. I've seen it so many times. That's the moon card. Right? Shining a light on that armor that we're wearing to keep us comfortable. We've outgrown the armor. We need to shine a light on it and step out of it. Even if it's scary. It's okay to be scared. That's part of the process. I see the Six of Swords here in the reversed, and at first I was like, why would they tell you not to leave behind a thought process? But what they are telling you to not leave behind is that Knight of Wands. So again, that motivation, that inspiration, charging forward, even if it feels a little reckless, even if we're not quite sure what the plan is, they're saying don't leave that behind. Don't leave behind your inspiration. Don't let that die. Don't let that fire go out, okay? It's gonna be scary, it's gonna feel a little uncomfortable, but that's fine. It's part of the process. Because as I said, if your change is comfortable, it's not change. It's supposed to feel a little uncomfortable and a little scary. That's the whole point. Every time we're like, ooh, I don't like that, that's our subconscious, right? Being like, trying to protect us and trying to put us back into the comfortable, painful parts. But we won't change. Thank you for the share, friend. Appreciate it. Tell me more on what they need to do at this time. Yeah, definitely some breathing, definitely grounding, getting into our body more instead of being all up in our head. Too much in the head. Too much in the head. The Fool, yes, embrace the new beginning. Embrace the new beginning, okay? It's okay if it's scary, but embrace it, all right? The new beginning is here to heal this aspect. And as I said, you're doing a great job. You're working quite hard on building that confidence within yourself. You're doing a fantastic job. This is that last little step, okay? This is part of it. It's going to be hard, but you're going to do a great job, okay? Honestly, doing these changes is going to bring you a lot because they're big life changes. And honestly, leaving behind shaky foundations so you can build a stronger one only benefits you. Yes, this is a general reading. What else they need to do about it at this time? I'm noticing my incense smoke is swirling. So I see energy rising up, manifestation, so putting a lot of effort into it. And 0, 1, 10. So mirroring energies, manifesting a cycle completion. Thank you, Spirit. There's that Emperor again. Take your control back. Take it back. Take your power back. You're letting the fear of the change have the power. Okay. Welcome back, R. Yeah, you're the one. Don't let fear drive the bus. You drive the bus. Because fear is just going to drive everybody off the cliff. No. They don't have a plan on where they're going. They're just going to drive everybody off. And the moon, yeah. Shine a light on that armor. If you're wearing armor and you feel like you've outgrown it, we need to shine a light on it and get out of it, okay? It's uncomfortable to stay. Leave. Leave. What else do I need to do about it at this time? Two of Swords in the reversed. Indecisive energy. Can you clarify this, Spirit? What is this indecisiveness? I doubt you're telling them to be indecisive, so let me know. Clarify this, please. What do you mean? What do you mean by this? Thank you. Okay, that confliction energy. So that Five of Swords, those little lies that we tell ourselves, this is a horizontal, so again, that transition. So the lies we tell ourselves make us indecisive. Need to let go of the lies. The swords are all about talking and thinking, right? So we keep ourselves in the uncomfortable, or in the painful parts, and keep us indecisive, which we don't need to be doing. And y'all know me, I've said millions of times, if a relationship is uncomfortable, if it's hurting you and you've tried to talk about it, but nothing's changed, leave. I know that's easier said than done, but if they are committed to continue when you've already made it very clear that you're not happy, leave. Because every time you allow it to continue, you're letting them know that it's okay for them to continue doing that. And that's how we self-abandon, because we allow the mistreatment, alright? It's scary, it sucks, I know, but if it sucks to be there, stop being there. Because I've been there before. I've been with people who have treated me like garbage, and I've tried to stay and make it work, and every single time I've learned the lesson that continuing to hold on is not the way to go. If you're the one keeping the relationship together and they're making no effort to fix it, leave. No, you don't need to be the whole ship. Go find somebody who will help you in the relationship. Or just go be by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that either. Go love on yourself. You deserve it. I'm not doing personal readings right now. This is a big collective reading. So yes, they're telling you don't let the lies that you're telling yourself keep you indecisive and stuck. Okay? Oh, thank you, friend. I'm as human as everybody else. I have my days. I've just been through a lot. So now I know not to do that anymore. And I would rather be the person who tells you to jump off the ship when the rats start jumping off the ship than telling you to try to stay and fix the boat. Because I've been down that road, and no, it's not worth it. It's never worth it. It really isn't. Yep, me too, friend. Been there, done that, played that game. No. Leave. Every time. No matter how you have to. Leave. So we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, so if you're stuck in a lack mindset, holding on to things, if you're holding on to the rope and the rope is hurting you, you're looking at it, you're not enjoying what's going on, they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to hold on to the rope if it hurts you, and they don't want for you to feel like you have to hold on to it either. Yeah, because that just brings more of this preventing your own happiness and stability, okay? Yeah, and that is true. It does take time to heal from that, yes. It will take time. And yes, since this is not a romantic reading and it's all about self-confidence and the subconscious, Yeah, so whenever we get into that lack mindset, looking around not being happy with our choices in that regard, like, oh, I haven't manifested the things that I want, I haven't brought in the stability, the confidence that I want yet, that's because we often let our own thoughts and words keep us in this indecisive energy and blocking new opportunities. What else do they need to do about it at this time? Hello, everybody. 32. Interesting. 33. Oh. The number of Archangel Michael. Interesting. The protector. The Two of Wands as well. So making the plans and going forth with the inspiration. That motivation. Yes. So instead of doing all of that, instead of letting the lies that you tell yourself and the thoughts about, oh, well, I can't ever make a choice because every time I've made a choice, like every time I let my emotions, or not my emotions, the old thinking of the past and overthinking rule this, like every time I let fear drive, I end up blocking my own happiness, my own security, when instead you should be continuing to make the plans and having that inspiration. Okay, thank you for the likes and the follows. Thank you guys, and welcome back. I saw you sneak back in here. Yes, continue what you want. Once you continue to follow your dreams. Okay, if you're trying to build self-confidence, if you're trying to really get into the I deserve the things that I want, keep doing it, okay? Because you're right. If you have to be aware that you deserve the thing that you're wanting. Aw, I love that. I did see your question, friend. I'm not doing personals at this time, and I've already put away my yes/no cards. Yes, that's it. Follow the plan, not your mood. Validate your feelings. You're allowed to have them, but continue to show up anyway. That applies to fear as well. Fear is part of it. Don't let your mood drive the bus. You drive the bus. If you let your moods drive the bus, you're gonna get nowhere. Fear's gonna drive you off a cliff. Most of them are super fickle and temporary, so they're gonna drive you in some crazy detour, go in a circle, do donuts in the parking lot, and you're not really gonna go anywhere. Easier said than done, I know, but it's just remembering that, you know, the feelings are reactions, they are not reality. Last two on what you need to do about it at this time. Good grief. That wasn't 2, that was like 15. Yeah, there's too many distractions, too much chaotic energy, everything wants to spill out. No. 2. What do they need to do about it at this time? Yes. Okay, as you're going forward, as you're making these plans, recognize your progress. Celebrate your achievements along the way. Every time you show up and you start loving on yourself, you do your affirmations, you choose different, celebrate it, because it's progress. Even if you go back a little bit, it's still progress because you chose different. Pay attention. Yeah, and don't work with the energies that make you feel... Don't work with the energies that make you feel like you need to, The Four of Cups is all about being apathetic. Looking at your life, seeing the stuff that like, oh, I want this, but it's not here yet, right? Focusing on the stuff that isn't here yet when you can look around you and notice how far you've come. Okay? Let's pay attention to that. Yeah. Pay attention, shift your focus from, oh, this isn't here yet, to what you're actually doing and celebrate that instead. Okay? All right. Lovely. Love that. So I'm feeling called to go into the Oracle advice cards. Before I do that though, I like to put a short summarized video of the current reading up for anybody who missed the live. So all that requires for me to do is a quick recap of the reading thus far. You don't have to do anything, don't have to lift a finger, don't have to give me anything. All I ask is a moment of your time, a little bit of patience, and I'll jump straight into the Oracle advice cards. I'm feeling these bad boys today, so we'll get straight into it. Okay? So, no problem. Thank you for your patience. So, that's the recap for today. Let's get into the Oracle advice cards. Now, I like these because they have sentences on them that really just give you food for thought and help you out. This is the same one that I use for the daily advice every day. I still like to bring her in here because she's absolutely gorgeous and she deserves her time in the spotlight too. So, hi, hello. I am seeing people that I haven't seen in a minute, or people that were here yesterday, so interesting. So, Spirit, let's ease their fears, soothe their anxieties, and give them some advice and clarity on how to proceed on their path forward. Anybody who sees my face, I ask that you remove some of the weight from their shoulders, lift some of the burdens from them so that they leave this live or this video or however they're watching this feeling a little bit lighter. So, thank you. Closing advice from my collective regarding their journey towards healing their self-confidence. They're feeling afraid of being in the spotlight and rejecting being seen. Advice. Some advice for them, Spirit. Closing advice for my collective here today. Thank you. The eternal now. Experience life fully in the now. It is the only true reality. So yes, getting out of our brain and into our body is one of the things, and noticing the small progress along the way, celebrating as you go. All right? That's how you'll start noticing the changes. That's how you'll be able to call in that recognition, is whenever you notice that you've responded differently, you go, hey, I did it. I did it. I made it. I made a change that I wanted to make. I'm actually capable of making these changes. Thank you for the follow, friend. Some more closing advice for my collective here. Because it's not easy. A lot of times we feel like progress, especially in a healing journey, we feel like it's going to be this constant up, 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 up. When in reality, it's much more of a up-down type of scenario, and you'll take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, but you've still made 1 step of progress. And we kind of get stuck in the, but I made 3 steps yesterday, therefore going back 2 steps negated my progress. I should feel ashamed, I should feel guilty. No, you made a step of progress. You still made progress, and that's worthy of being celebrated. 1111. Yes, you're still doing it, and it's still worthy of being celebrated. More closing advice for my collective here today. Yeah, it's gonna take time. We don't like to hear that. We never like to hear it. But it's going to take time. You don't just heal lifelong wounds overnight. That's not how it works. You'll have days where you make a bunch of progress and it'll feel awesome, and then you'll have days where you go back a little bit. That's fine. It's part of the process. You're rewiring your brain. It took time to wire it. It takes time to unwire it. And it takes time to rewire it again. So remember that. Come on, Spirit, don't be shy. some more closing advice for the collective here today. Thank you. Warrior of light. Accept your light and your darkness. They make you the warrior you are. So, yeah, like I said, remember, you're going to have days where it's not so good. You're going to have days where it's great and it's beautiful. Both your light and shadow aspect are you. Okay, so there will be days where you're not feeling self-confident, where you don't feel like you're in control, and that's fine. That's part of the process. Like I said, there will be days where we take 2 steps back, but that doesn't negate the progress that we made, and that's worthy of being celebrated. It's part of the dance of life. Evolve your brain. Train your mind to transform your life. The power lies within you. Yes. So continue to do what you're doing. You're already doing the work, so continue doing it. We're rewiring our brain, our subconscious mind. It takes time and it takes effort. It's going to take time. And it's absolutely fine if some days it feels like we made no progress at all. 9 times out of 10, you did make progress, you're just not paying attention. And to the people who have come into here asking about a relationship, I've said multiple times, if you feel like you have to beg for love, leave. And if it hurts to be there, leave. Point blank period. Yep. Personal legend. Recognize and pursue your personal legend. It's your truth. Yes, so if you feel called to do big things, go do the big things, even if it's scary, all right? Follow it. You don't need to prove that you're worthy of it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to earn it or deserve it or whatever. Just go after it. Everybody has a thing that they're here to do. It's whatever you feel in your bones, the thing you can't stop thinking about. That's what you're here for. That's what you should go after. Okay? Don't tell yourself, oh, I don't deserve that. No. That's not how, it's calling you for a reason. Go do it. Do it scared. Be new. It's fine. It either works or it doesn't. But at least you tried, you know? Happy birthday to your friend. I'm not doing personals at this time, but I do have a year ahead reading offering at the link in my bio, where I do a full year, 12 cards plus oracle plus dice plus runes, all that stuff. So feel free to check that out. And yes, divine timing. No one likes to hear this. No one likes to hear this card, right? Divine timing. Trust in divine timing. You are exactly where you need to be. Okay? Don't try to rush the process. Don't try to rush the process. It'll happen when it happens. You don't need to worry about being behind. You don't need to worry about making it a race. Okay? As long as you're paying attention in the now, you're going to notice the changes because you're already putting in the work, you're already doing what you need to do, and that's totally fine. I'll do 3 more. Yeah, 3 more. And then we'll close out. Closing advice for my collective here today. Thank you. Spiritual regression. Seek healing and wisdom in the memories of your soul's journey. So yes, that's fine. Seek that healing. Continue to move forward, okay? Spiritual regression. Yeah, look over those things. So whenever those delays and issues comes up, that is an invitation for you to look within and figure out, why am I reacting this way? Why does this make me feel so resistant? Why am I afraid? What about this is scary? Hi, Angel. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, friend. That will help you. It really will. It's like, as you're going, those things are there in order for you to change how you respond. It's part of the lesson. It's part of the work. Because change is not supposed to be comfortable. If the change is comfortable, it's not change. Every time it feels uncomfortable, that's when you're supposed to get curious, dig in, and go, why am I afraid of this? What about this do I not like? Where did I learn this from? Yes. Destiny's dance. Weave your destiny with the thread of your choices and soul's purpose. So, again, like, this was in the reverse too, so I have to take that into account. We feel like, this tells me that we feel like we'll forever be fated to feel this way, to operate in this manner. No, you are the author of your destiny. You are the one who holds the pen. You decide where you go. What do I mean by that? I mean, every time you say, I don't deserve this, you are telling yourself in your subconscious that you don't deserve these things. You are actively choosing not to pursue these things. You're writing your own narrative. Now, you did not necessarily just, it's not like you didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? You didn't just wake up one day and decide that you didn't deserve this stuff. You didn't decide to humble yourself out of nowhere. People kind of helped along the way, you know? But you ultimately have the power to change how you respond. Instead of saying, I don't deserve this, you say, I do accept this position. I do accept this opportunity. I do accept this healing relationship. Right? I accept that I deserve nice things. And every time it makes you uncomfortable, you remind yourself and rewrite your subconscious, therefore changing your destiny. Because if we just sit in the I'm always going to be this way, we don't change anything. Last one, and then I'll release you to the wilds of the night. Collective. Closing advice for the collective. Thank you. The unseen world. Remember, there's a realm beyond the visible. Explore it with your inner vision. So again, the subconscious mind. You see how it looks like an eye? This talks about, as you make these choices, most people aren't aware that how everything works is that you vibrate at a certain level, and the things that come in, you have to meet at the same frequency. So when you're operating in the I don't deserve nice things, all of the I don't deserve nice things opportunities, experiences are at that same level, and therefore meet you where you're at, because you're actively calling it in. It's like with a magnet, repel, retract, or repel, attract. So once you start changing things, you start changing how you vibrate. And you say, I do deserve nice things. So then the nice things, the opportunities for the nice things, start getting called in and come and get attracted into your reality, right? Yeah, universe inside. Feel the oneness with the universe. You are an integral part of it. We're all part of the dance, right? We're all part of the dance. We're all part of the song. We're all part of the entire thing. So as we tell ourselves what we deserve, the things we're saying we deserve come to us to be our dance partner. Thank you for the follows. Yes. Oh, there you go. An inner doorway. Open the door within and let life's circumstances pass through you. So yes, looking at your heart. And instead of letting experiences and emotions and stuff like that decide what your life is, allow yourself to feel those things. Allow yourself to get curious. Why do I feel this way? Why am I so hesitant? Why do I feel like I don't deserve nice things? Why do I feel like I can't be happy? Why do I not allow these things in my life? And instead of deciding that that's your reality, just get curious and figure out why. Why? You know, what in my life led me to feel this way? And that can help you detach from that and make the changes you need in order to heal that and call in the things you actually want. So, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time and your energy and for choosing me to be your reader. If you are interested in a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. It's not clickable, unfortunately. I don't have 1,000 followers just yet. We're super close. Once you have 1,000 followers, you're allowed to have a clickable link. So feel free to check it out and see if I vibe with you. If not, and this is the last time I see you, thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. I know it's precious. And I wish you all of the love, luck, joy, peace, happiness, abundance, health, wealth, and healing along your journey. Please remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it, okay? If you have chosen to follow me and you do like my vibe, thank you so, so, so much. I wish all the same for you. And yeah, oh, if you're watching this from the YouTube video when I post it later, that link I spoke of will be in the description box down below. Feel free to check it out. Yeah, so again, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!